Bison Media Zone on WDAY Extra.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the Bison Media Zone. We do it each and every Wednesday at 10:30 on WDAY Extra. We normally do it all the way to March. We may have to extend that this year with the amount of news that's circling around North Dakota State's athletic program, certainly with football, with obviously the big news that became official Monday, that the Bison are now members of the Mountain West Conference. And I said it yesterday on the news that we've heard from all the decision makers. Right, we've heard from Matt Larson, we've heard from Dave Cook, we've heard from Tim Polasek. What we have not heard from are the actual guys that are going to be out doing this, and that's the players. We got access to a few of them after the press conference on Monday with Keenan Wilson, Griffin Empey, Nathan Hayes, and Donovan Woolen, and you're going to hear from them all here over the next little bit. And asked a variety of questions ranging from the biggie I know that I was asked on, well, now they don't have a chance to play for a championship anymore for the next couple of years. As of now, obviously the appeal is out there of what that means to them. They were not recruited as FBS players. That changes now. Like the 27 class, they are like Austin Whittick, who's in the clubhouse, is the first commit of 2027. They are FBS, but the guys on the roster, they were not. You're going to hear their answers on that. I mentioned earlier, we were talking with Grant Olson on Hot Mic on the excitement level of being in the video game. That's beyond my age range, obviously. I will only tell you that when they debuted it, when it returned, when we were out in Las Vegas a couple years ago for Big 12 Media Days, that was the talk of everyone, that game was back and you could play it. So now NDSU will be part of that. It anticipates when it comes out, whenever, this summer. That you'll hear as part of this as well. We'll also, in the second half of today's show, we will save for your comments, emails, texts. We've got a bunch that we have not had a chance to get to, including finding out the show is now made it to all 50 states. Excited about that. But here's the conversation we had with the Bison Players about them moving to the Mountain West Conference. Tell me, when you first heard this is a possibility, what went through your mind?
Man, I'm excited. I was very excited. Everyone on the team was very excited, to get the opportunity to play at a higher level, to play against FBS opponents every game is, it's something that's special, and, we're ready for it.
When Matt Larson told you, Coach Polasek told you, I heard the team went nuts. Can you take me inside the room, what that was like?
Yeah, he told us, everybody jumped out of their seats, excited, making some noise, some hollers, it was awesome. I wish I could have that on video so I can relive it.
You were not recruited here to be an FBS player. Describe that challenge now of this is going to be something that maybe you didn't sign up.
I see it as just another step in the process. We know that we can play at that level and we can play at a high level, and we just got to put our head down and keep grinding to go out there and compete and show what we can do.
You're going to not be eligible for a championship, though. How much does that change mentality-wise for this upcoming year?
I don't think it changes anything. We're still focused on going 1-0 each week, and I think we're just going to go out there and show what we can do every week. And unfortunately, we can't go to a championship game, but it is what it is.
Saying now that you're an FBS player, how does that sound now when that comes to mind, or have you even thought that far yet?
I mean, it sounds crazy, but like I said, we know we can play at that level. I mean, a cool part is that we're going to be in the college football game now, so that's pretty cool.
Tell me about that. Now, you might be able to play yourself in the.
Oh, most definitely will be playing myself. Yeah.
How much is that a big thing you guys talk about? You had to create an issue, and now you want to do that?
Oh, definitely. Everybody's talking about that. That the chance to be in a game. You grow up wanting to be able to, like Madden or college football. It's awesome.
For you, especially for your area, I know there's a bunch of either your former teammates, the guys you played against that are in that league. What is that like, that you have a chance to maybe play against some guys you saw in your high school days? I
mean, it's really cool to play against people that you played against in high school. Everybody has gotten better, going to college, and to be able to play them again in the Mountain West is pretty cool.
All right, if I told you your first collegiate start is going to be as an FBS quarterback, how's that sound?
It sounds good. I'm excited about it. I know the whole team's excited about it. When we got the news yesterday, obviously there were some Twitter rumblings, so it wasn't a complete shock. But, standing ovation in the room to Matt Larson. So Matt Larson, the rest of the coaches, President Cook, everybody that worked on it, all the players that came before us. We're super excited, super appreciative of everybody that got us here. So we're super excited. We're ready to prove that we can play at the next level.
When you first maybe saw it Friday night, did you believe it? And what was the reaction rumblings first started?
Well, we saw one tweet, and it was like, all right, one of these happens every year. So we're like, all right, let's see what happens. And then a few more kept coming out. We got the team meeting text, and we were like, well, maybe this is happening. So, we had our group chat going on the team. Everybody just like, is this really happening? Is this for real this year, this time? And everybody was super excited, talking about, where we get to play, do we get to go to Hawaii, all that. So everybody's excited to travel to new spots, get to play new teams, and yeah.
How does this change for you, if anything, mentality-wise, how you approach the upcoming year, who you're going to be playing now?
As far as preparation, it doesn't change much because we still have the same goal, the same energy in the weight room. Just take it game by game, try to prove something each and every week. But like film-wise, it gets a little repetitive playing the same teams every year, so you start to learn tendencies. So I think it's going to be a little more time in the film room, starting to learn these new teams, try to figure them out over the next few months. But besides that, if you would have seen the weight room today, everybody's fired up. We're coming out to prove that we can play with these new teams, and we're going to have to be strong, we're going to have to be fast, and that's our goal in the weight room.
I know you were already going to be amped for your first start. Does this change at all that the eyeballs be different? Just everything is going to be different now for game one, whoever that's going to be against this fall?
Yeah, I don't think so. In San Antonio against Incarnate Word, and then however the schedule works out, that's a really good program. They have a lot of history there. We have some history with them, and it was going to be in a really warm climate, so that was going to be a test for us for sure. And if that changes, so what? Now what? We're going to just move on. It's going to be a similar attitude towards the game, and we're just going to go out there, focus on what we do best, and see how it goes.
I asked Donovan this, I ask you as well. You weren't recruited to be an FBS quarterback. Now you are one. What does that mean to you when I say that?
I don't think I look too much into that. Obviously, coming to the FCS, you're like, it's not quite the step that, when you're 5 years old or 5 to 10 years old, you're thinking about. But you look at this program and the history and the games that they've won, the teams before us that they've won. You think Iowa, you think Kansas State, you think Minnesota, and they're winning those games. So I think in my head I've always been an FBS quarterback, and I think that goes for everybody on the team, that they know they can play at that level. So I don't think it changes anything.
We were just talking to Nathan Hayes about when the rumors first started. Did you pay it any attention, or not till you got the team meeting text?
I try not to. This has happened before a little bit, but, try to just keep my head down, just, say, it'd be better if Coach P says it finalized, and then it can go crazy. So it was good.
And what was that reaction?
It was fun. It was, just thinking about the guys that before us have just kind of paved the way for us to get here, and just kind of think about them. A big one for me was Eli Mostart and all them, so it was good.
Does this change at all mentality-wise, preparation for the season, knowing that the competition is going to be much different than what you initially thought it would be?
For us, I would just say, we have a mentality to go 1-0 every single week. So, whichever on the schedule, we're going to try to give it our best, go 1-0. Off-season training, just moving more weight, running faster, just trying to get bigger and stronger. So.
Do you know much about the conference, like who plays in it, or is that something you got to do some actual studying?
Definitely got to do some research, more film watching, stuff like that with Coach Morgan, and kind of just detail and lock in with the players. So.
What is, I guess, most exciting about this for you?
Just for me, mostly just an opportunity, a challenge with my best friends. So all the guys on the team, just talking and just kind of just getting a challenge, new players, new conference, more competition. Just it's good. It's good. So
to have this. You're now an FBS player. What goes through your mind when I say that?
It's just kind of a title. I think that, if you're a good player, FCS, FBS, you're going to find your way to the top. So I think just staying grounded and being true to who you are is just kind of what I do. So
I was talking with the other guys. Did you pay it any mind Friday when the rumors started? Did you give it any attention, or not till the team meeting text came?
Obviously you give it a little attention. You kind of always do, but it was just a little bit more circling around than the normal kind of talks. So I was like, it might happen. And then like when it became real during the team meeting, it was like, oh, like this is real, So like it was pretty cool.
Describe, you being a former walk-on. Now you're an FBS player. What goes through your mind when I say that?
I mean, only good things, right? Like this has obviously kind of been like a dream to even do what I've done so far, but now to even sweeten the whatever you want to say, like sweeten the pie even more. Like it's just living the dream. So
you've gotten used to playing who you've played, obviously in the Missouri Valley the last couple of years. How does that change preparation, if at all, for new opponents that you're going to have in front of you for this fall?
Well, I was saying this earlier. I said we always prepare to be our best versions of ourselves anyway. So it doesn't. I don't think our preparation will change very much in terms of. Obviously, we'll be playing against some better teams for sure. But I think our preparation will stay the same because it's done us pretty good so far. If you look back in the history books a little bit.
Coach Polisic said, in the trenches, I think we're going to be just fine. You're in that. Describe that transition of how offensive line play with you guys, how you play, that transitions into the Mountain West Conference, for what you know.
Well, yeah, for what I know, I have to do a little bit more scouting on some of the other guys and stuff like that. But for what I know, it's going to be Bison football, Bison O-line, the Rams. We're going to be our same selves. We've been able to have two guys, win a Super Bowl starting in the NFL. So we obviously have a pretty good pedigree going on here. So I think we're like Coach Polisic said, we're going to be just fine, and we're going to be able to do what we do best and have some fun out there with our guys.
So there you have it from Griffin Empey, Donovan Woolen, Nathan Hayes, and Keenan Wilson. Speaking as we got a chance to visit with them earlier this week on the move to FBS football, and I think it's certainly excitement level up there. Ready for the challenge from what they said, and words are one thing, action is another. As workouts are going now, and then spring ball begins, like I mentioned, about 6-7 weeks from now. That's the real ramp-up now to begin the first season of FBS football in the Mountain West. We'll break. We come back here on the Bison Media Zone. Bunch of comments. We got to get to all of them. We'll try to, for what people are thinking, saying, believing. We'll try and answer as many as we can. We wrap up the Bison Media Zone on a Wednesday morning after this. Welcome back, everybody, here on the Bison Media Zone on this Wednesday morning. All right, we had so many reactions coming in here. We haven't had a chance to get to them all, and we're going to try and do that here over the next 5 minutes that we have left in our show today to try and paint a picture of where people's minds are at. We read a good share of them on Monday's show. We had more come in after that, so let's start ripping the lid off of this. Dom, I'm liking this move to FBS. I live in Arizona, and now 3 Bison football games are within 1 day driving distance. I've had a couple of that. Long-time listener, fan of the show, Bison alum, so excited about the move. Finally, can't believe it actually happened. Fabulous news. I'll definitely attend some of the out-of-town games as well. Only concern is recruiting better position players, definitely defensive backs. The lines, quarterback, running back, linebacker, I think are good. D-backs we need better in my not-so-professional opinion. Maybe wide receiver, but not as much as defensive backs. That's a couple that we got on that. Let's do a few more. Let me see. I had a couple highlighted here. Dom, curious if you've gotten any sense of how the current players feel about the transition. Just had that. The fact they aren't eligible for bowl games or postseason the next 2 years. The possibility of going 12-0, then having the season end there feels like it would have a lot of desire for players who came in expecting to chase a postseason run. I'd be interested to hear what their mindset has been and how they're handling that reality internally. And you heard for some of them there. I think they're ready for whatever challenge that is to come. And it's different, obviously, from what they were expecting, but that is part of the reality now of what we're at. I had this question 3 or 4 times over. Dom, is the game with Oregon safe? I can only tell you that it's on the schedule. Doesn't mean it can't be. There's $1 million buyout for either side in that. Now, $1 million to Oregon is chump change. Let's just put that out there right now. that's not out of the realm of possibility they could get rid of the game. Or move it beyond 2028. Because Oregon says every year we want to play, just like we were talking about earlier, we want to play an FCS team, we want to play a group of 6 team, and we're going to play another Power 4. That's the Big Ten scheduling model. Then they said, well, wait a minute. We had our FCS team, and now it's gone. We're not going to add another group of 6 game because we can look quick because I would tell you, folks, if you're not familiar with fbschedules.com, get familiar with it because it tracks all future scheduling. It's done it from the FCS for a bit. 2028, the Ducks already have Baylor besides NDSU on their schedule that we know of right now. Obviously, Baylor being a Big 12. So they have another Power 4 game, and they don't have a Group of 6 game. We'll see. Long-winded answer to that. I think that game could be moved. I don't know if it'll happen in 2028. Let's do a few more. Why is the move to the FBS going to create a sustained fan interest? It took 20 years for the FCS to get state. Hard for me to see the return on the significant cost, initial and annual, it will take. One of the good things that came from FCS is the rivalry with South Dakota State, and now that just goes away despite it being about the only thing the fans still want. I did not take 20 years for sustained fan interest. I think we had sustained fan interest by, and I say we as in the area, I'd say it took about till 2010 when the Bison made that first FCS playoff run. 2011, the Dome was hopping every game. We had 18,500, and it was a scene. I can't explain it to people that are late to the party on that. So I disagree with that. As for the SDSU game, yeah, it's disappointing, but that's the reality of this. And maybe there was a chance they could play it down the road, but to me, it's been down this road before. I wanted to say this last one because it's my favorite. Dom, you have a listener in Hawaii. You actually showed the temporary stadium here in Hawaii on yesterday's show. Aloha Stadium is being demolished right now. The new stadium is scheduled to finally open in 2029. The latest information on the new stadium is it's going to be around 30,000 seats with room for expansion. I can already hear the Bison fans complaining about games starting at 11:30 Central Time and ending as late as 3:30 a.m. Sunday morning. I've made the trip many times between Honolulu and Fargo. It's going to be incredibly difficult for either away team. I've never watched a game where I've rooted for both teams, but this will be a first. Thank you to Tom in Hawaii for watching the show. That is next level. That'll wrap up this week's edition of the Bison Media Zone. We do it each and every Wednesday at 10:30 here on WDAY Extra. Much more football and hoops chatter coming up next week. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.